I am one of the leaders in our co-op. The door was opening. I'm going to also put in a disclaimer, children always run in and out of my Zooms.
Where's the thing to put milk in the cupcake?
It's in the dishwasher. One from each end.
Okay.
She's making a cupcake and didn't know where the measuring spoons were, so sorry. Okay, so welcome to our class this evening, all about oils and pregnancy and babies and postpartum and support for mamas and hormones and oh my. Okay, so I'm just gonna hop in and get started. I'm gonna start screen sharing because Rebecca and I did make a little bit of a PowerPoint for you guys. What we're gonna do in this class is just go over a couple things. Safety with oils and kids, dilution ratios, just that sort of thing. And then we're going to have a bunch of new moms share their personal journeys and stories, their favorite things to use, and just like different Young Living products that they use for their support. Can everybody see this? Everybody can see that? Okay, so welcome everybody to Oils for Pregnancies and Babies. So I want to thank you guys for giving us your time this evening and spending some time with us. I love Monday nights when we get together and get to talk about stuff and then visit afterwards. Oh my gosh, somebody's sharpening a pencil next to me. Anyway, okay, so let's get started. First thing I want everybody to know is that we are not doctors. We are just moms who are super passionate about using natural products and living a natural lifestyle. So everything that we're going to talk about tonight is just for education, and it's not to diagnose or treat or prescribe anything. Welcome. So I'm just going to put that disclaimer out there. We aren't doctors. We're just moms who love all these things and love sharing what we learn.
So one thing to keep in mind with using essential oils during pregnancy and with your littles is you don't have to be afraid. There are a few safety guidelines to be aware of, but otherwise it's important to do a little bit of research and inform yourself on, you know, some good oils that are good for pregnancy and for babies and which ones to use with caution. So 2 resources I really recommend. The first one here is Gentle Babies. This is by Deborah Rayburn. This is a really great book to look at for pregnancy and with babies. And then we have this one here, Betsy Bosom's Baby Book. So this one here you can actually find on Amazon, Betsy Bosom. But the Gentle Babies is at theoilsupplystore.com. So those are great books for you guys or for people on your team who you know have a pregnancy or littles and just want a little bit more information. So essential oils, as a lot of us know, have been used for hundreds and thousands of years. And they provide a way for us to take care of our families naturally. And I know for me, that's super important. They help me feel empowered when taking care of myself and my kids. And it's about being proactive with our health and making empowered choices. So one thing to keep in mind is not all essential oils are created equal. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Young Living's therapeutic grade essential oils. Hannah, want to flip the slide?
Yes,
So,
I'm very sorry.
One thing about Young Living is their seed to seal quality guarantee. That ensures that we have an oil we can trust and we can use it confidently. So we do encourage women to use oils responsibly and always err on the side of caution if they're hesitant about a certain oil. But that being said, is many women have used essential oils prolifically during their pregnancies with excellent results. So this list here is the list of oils to avoid or use with caution during pregnancy. So feel free to take a screenshot of this because that's a helpful list.
Except it's all funky and weird and the flowers are missing and the bird's in the way, but
that little blue bird has a mind of its own for some reason.
It literally pops up on every slide.
So the first one there is actually basil, then birch, calamus, cassia, cinnamon bark, hyssop, Idaho tansy, lavender, rosemary, sage, tarragon, and wintergreen. So actually in the Deborah Rayburn book, she actually says that the quality really matters when referring to these oils. So knowing that Young Living has such high quality, clean oils that, that sets them apart from other oils.
Okay, so now these are oils to avoid with newborns. I seriously, I promise you guys, there was like a beautiful floral graphic here and that bird was not in the way. So it just happens every time. I don't understand it. But anyways, okay, so these are the oils to avoid with newborns, and that, oh my gosh, what is happening? I'm just trying to slide this up there. Okay, so eucalyptus, basil, juniper, peppermint, hyssop, and wintergreen. So peppermint and wintergreen are like hot oils. Eucalyptus, the reason that it is to be avoided with newborns is because when you inhale eucalyptus, even like as an adult, it kind of takes your breath away. And newborns don't actually have a regulated diaphragm at the time to like keep their breathing patterns perfectly normal and functioning. And so sometimes when their breath gets taken away, or they're out in the wind and they can't catch their breath for a second, eucalyptus can have that same effect, and then they have a hard time regaining their actual breathing. And so a good one to substitute eucalyptus with for little ones is pine, because it helps clear their respiratory systems, but is a lot more gentle and doesn't really have that reaction.
So these are oils that are safe to use with littles and babies. This is not like the comprehensive list, but these are kind of common ones you probably have around your home: frankincense, lavender, copaiba, stress away, bergamot, gentle baby, pine, and peace and calming. And we're going to go through the diluting ratios, but do your research. I know that a lot of us have the reference app on your phone, which is really helpful for looking up, for certain things, what oils are recommended. And so, yes, this is a great little list, but there's so many more that are available to use with our littles.
I'm so mad at these slides, you guys. They were beautiful. Like, is this one even going to show up?
The bird's cute.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just going to escape it. We're just going to look at it like this. For real. This is nuts.
This is so bizarre.
Yeah. Like Rebecca and I were literally like screen sharing earlier while we made these slides, and they were fine.
So this is the dilution one. That's so weird.
I'll just move it back over here and I'll just rebuild it. No, it's not showing up. Oh, how annoying.
I've never had that happen before.
Me either. Let me refresh my page. This is wild. I'm so sorry, everybody. Thank you for your patience. It's literally been one of those days. You have no idea. See? Is it going to work?
So number 7.
Oh, okay, here it looks normal-ish. There it is.
Go.
Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. I hope that's not too small for people. I'll zoom in a little bit. How about? Okay, so these are the dilution ratios that Young Living recommends for when you're using oils with kids ages 0 to 1. It's technically recommended to do 8 drops of a carrier oil to 1 drop essential oil. If you don't know what a carrier oil is, it's just a fatty oil. Like Young Living has one called V6. You can use olive oil or coconut oil or jojoba oil, just any fatty oil. And the reason for that is kids don't have their absorption barriers built up yet. And essential oil molecules are so small that they can be absorbed into their systems really fast and coat their bodies really fast, like the cells in their bodies. And so when you dilute it with a carrier oil, it slows down the absorption rate. It allows the essential oils to stay on their skin and not evaporate because they are volatile. And with kiddos, you really only need like a drop to make a huge difference. And so these are what the dilution ratios are. So 0 to 1, it's 8 drops of a fatty oil to 1 drop of essential oil. 2 to 6 is 3 drops of a fatty oil to 1 drop of essential oil. 7 to 11 is 1 drop carrier to 1 drop essential oil, like 1 to 1. And then ages 12 and up, you can use the concentration. But everybody like usually dilutes their essential oils anyway. Like these ones I use are diluted in rollers. So you don't like have to put full concentration oil on your children or anything like that. But just for safety and caution, like you really don't need a lot. So that's why we dilute it.
So when it comes to using oils and toxin-free products with our kids, Young Living makes it easy. They take the guesswork out of the diluting and the, what products can we use, what's clean, what's going to be good for our babies. And so they have the Seedlings line, which is awesome, toxin-free, essential oil infused personal care products for babies. And then the Kid Scent, which is already diluted for topical use for kiddos. And they do have like the little oiler starter kit, which I believe is coming back in stock in September. But they have beautiful blends for like most things that you need or that you'll run into with your littles. And so, for me, I love having them already diluted and really just know that their products are really high quality and they're not contributing to any kind of, body burden or toxin overload for our little ones because they're clean and they're essential oil infused. And so if you haven't tried the Seedlings or the Kid Scent oils out yet, I highly recommend them. I use some of them myself and my teenagers. And so a lot of them are multi-purpose and great for so many things, like the Seedlings wipes. I use those all the time. Actually, several of the Seedling lines, I use them for myself. And so I love that Young Living has provided these products for us to take care of ourselves and our families. They're amazing.
Okay, so I'm going to stop screen sharing. Although, there. Okay. So now we are going to mute ourselves, Rebecca and I, and actually let you guys listen to some moms who have recently had oily babies and used oils to support through their pregnancies and all the things. And so I'm going to turn it over to Aiden, who is an amazing, awesome leader and mom and friend and speaker. And I know that you guys are going to be inspired and encouraged by her and the things she has to say, because I always am. And I know you will too. So I will let Aiden talk now.
Thank you, Hannah. I've got my little buddy with me here. He's like chewing my thumb off, but we're gonna roll with it. And if he starts screaming, I'll give him to his dad. Okay, so it was really hard for me to pick out which product stood out the most to me, because I found, like, honestly, that so many were what made my pregnancy awesome. And I'm just gonna start with what I used throughout the entire thing, no matter if I was nauseous, feeling uncomfortable, sore muscles, was lavender. And I mean, I went through like bottles of this stuff. So I tried not to use any medicine and things like that during my pregnancy, just personal preference. And I did find that this one was great for so many different things. And I still use that one every single day. So it's definitely one to have in your toolkit. Then we're going to talk about when I went into labor. These two were my absolute favorite. So I have Clary Sage and Rosemary. And these are 2 oils that I was recommended by Hannah and Melissa. I attended one of their pre-baby classes, and I had no idea which ones to use. So these 2 stood out on the list that kept reoccurring. So I figured I'd buy them. And I loved these very much. When I started my contractions just after my water broke, these were very comforting for me, and this smell will forever remind me of that time, which is really special. But Clary Sage is kind of a smoky type of scent, and Rosemary's a very strong smell too. And they're said to actually help your contractions along naturally. So I really love those, and they got me through 10 hours of hard contractions at the hospital, along with lavender, peppermint on the back of my neck. And I really wish that I would have been able to continue on just using my oils, but that wasn't the case for us. I will say I did love them as long as I could. Okay, so then baby comes out and you're postpartum. This part was pretty tricky for me. So I had a lot of stitches, a lot of soreness going on, and I at first didn't have this product, but I wish I did. This is Clariderm, and it's actually a beautiful spray. It has a really nice scent, and it's for any type of itching and irritation. So I didn't have this at first. All I had is my stupid little spray bottle, and I wanted something to give me like any type of healing or refreshing that I could. So this was on the list of products that I should have bought, but I didn't. And I will say it is a must. After you go to the bathroom, if you're sore or just need something to make you feel better, spraying that will just, it's life-changing. It's amazing, okay? Get it. It's worth the money, I promise you. I still use it, and he's like 4 months now, so. Next, my favorite right now is Progessence Phyto Plus. This is called PPP, and I've only just bought this bottle and I'm trying it, but I put it on morning and night, and I've been having a lot of issues with my hormones and mood swings, so it's just nice for me right now to have this as a tool. Like if I feel something coming on or feeling overwhelmed, I'll grab for this. And I'm really excited to see long-term the effects that it has on me, but I can't speak to that yet. I haven't had it long enough. So I'm almost done here, but I'll quickly go through a few more. Fennel is something that took me by surprise. I hate the smell. It smells like black licorice, but it is incredible. So I have found this one to really, help me out with my milk supply. It seems that when I'm running low or I'm having those days where it just feels like baby is drinking and nothing is there, I will put this on before bed, and I just kind of put it up here. I don't like to have it anywhere that he will touch. It has really made a difference, and on those days I need a bit extra support, it will help me to kind of feel fuller and get more milk coming. So now for baby, of course the Seedlings Calm that is in the Seedlings line is beautiful to diffuse at night, or whenever they're going a little bit crazy, you can just open the cap and have it near them, and that sometimes is enough just to give them an extra bit of calming. This is Gentle Baby, and it's beautiful. It kind of smells like traditional baby powder, but minus all the toxins and things. So yes, diluted with the ratios that the lady spoke about, or I like to diffuse in our bedroom, and it just is beautiful and calming. So those are great. We love the entire Seedlings line. Like, he has literally never used any other products, so I wouldn't be able to speak to anything else. But one thing that has really stood out for us are the baby Seedlings wipes. These are like magic, I swear to God. We ran out one day, and so we had this generic pack of wipes that we got given as a gift. Using that, 2 days go by, order's not in, so we keep using them, and he literally got a diaper rash in those 2 days. So I just figured it was coincidence, but then our order came in, we started using our Seedlings wipes again, and his diaper rash has cleared up, and he's never had one again since. For 4 months. Yeah, that's right, it's awesome. 4 months, it's freaking awesome. And I think that has to do with the lavender infused in them. I think they're incredible. I use them on my face. Again, moms, after you have your baby and going number 2 ain't so sweet anymore, it's nice to have some wipes too, just to be a bit more gentle. So, and lastly, our second favorite is the baby wash and shampoo. This stuff rocks. It's the only product we use for bath time. He has had no issues with dry skin. He's got in his eyes quite a few times and no problem. So I love how gentle that line is, and there's no better feeling than knowing it's so safe for your baby. let alone all of the other products in your house are safe. So that's a bit from me. And I forgot to say this, Stress Away is just my perfume these days. So if you can try even one of these products, I would highly recommend them. And I think each person will have a product that stands out most to them. So thanks for having me, ladies.
Thank you, Aiden. I love hearing how honest you are all the time. I really appreciate it, because I use those wipes on my butt also after having children. So I'm glad to hear that other people do that too. Okay, so the next mom that is going to hop on is Frances, and she also just had a little boy, and she is so knowledgeable on all things oils and babies, and goes like she knows the things that I don't know the answers to. And so I know that you guys are going to learn lots from her, and I will let Franny go. If she's Maybe she stepped out of the room. Oh, there.
I'm here. Hey guys. So I have a baby right here. He's sleeping, so hopefully he won't wake up. If he does, well, we'll see what happens then. So pretty much I agree with everything Aiden said. All of those products I use as well, but I really want to talk about before pregnancy too. So Rebecca did mention this book. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but this book was a must-have for me. So I was trying for a while to kind of get pregnant, so I was really looking at all the supplements I could take, all the oils that I should be using, and all that kind of stuff. I even made special rollers and all that kind of stuff. So I got like the progesterone cream and all that kind of stuff. So I read the whole book. I made a whole class on it, and it showed me so much information of all the things that I didn't know yet. And of course, I was really into it. I talked to so many people who wish they had oils in their life before they had a baby, because a lot of the times what switches their perspective is having a product. Lucky that it got introduced to me before I had a baby. Can you hear me, Hannah? Can you guys hear me?
Hey, wait. You're kind of choppy, Franny. It like paused for a second, and then you said all your words really, really fast, like it caught up or something.
Oh, weird. Can you like
okay.
now it seems okay?
Mm-hmm.
I saw you look pretty confused. So I'm like, can you guys even hear?
I was messaging Rebecca.
Yeah, I don't know. It shows I have full bars here.
Yeah, it seems better now.
Okay. Just like put your hand up if it happens again, and I'll like stop talking for a bit. All right. So yeah, pretty much my goal was to get the healthiest body before I got pregnant. So I used all the oils, all the supplements, and I guess the top oils, well, the oil that changed like my whole perspective on oils and what got me using oils was the Progestin Plus. So a main thing is when women are trying to get pregnant, they need to know their ovulation cycle and all that kind of stuff. And for me, that was always messed up. It had been for years, and I have had a lot of hormonal imbalances. So for me, that messed things up for me a lot, I guess. So I started using Progestin Plus, and by the second week, I could already feel a change in my like overall mood, because I would just always be sad or I would always be angry. And it didn't matter if it was the time of the month, it was literally just always, because I just had that hormonal imbalance and I didn't know what it was. So when I started using that oil, it was like a huge change. And then by the time my first cycle came around, it was like, whoa, it was like I didn't have cramps, I didn't have the PMS, it was all just gone. And then I found the longer I used it, the better it got. So one thing I always try to recommend to people too is that consistency is key. So many people, they try an oil and they're like, well, it's not working. And it's like, well, even with some medications like antidepressants or something, you have to use them for a couple of weeks in order for them to work. And it's the same thing with oils. So consistency is key. Make sure you use them long enough to actually notice a difference. And I mean, with some oils, you notice an instant difference, like especially with the pain ones and stuff. But for this one, I found the longer I used it, the better it got. So I used that all the way up to my pregnancy, and I believe they say not to use progestins during your whole pregnancy because you really don't need it, because your body already builds enough progesterone during your pregnancy. So I think I used it until the first month of my pregnancy, because I believe they say to use it until kind of like the danger point or whatever, if that makes sense. And then when I first found out I got pregnant, the main things that I used were, I just continued to pretty much use the supplements that I was already using, which is the main one for me is sulfurzyme. I like can't live without that. I had really sore hips in my pregnancy, but that is the only thing that was like, that bothered me during my pregnancy. I was never sick. I was barely tired except for the really end of my pregnancy. But I don't know, when I told people about my pregnancy, they're like, they didn't really believe me that I was feeling good, especially because I grew up and I've had tons of stomach problems. I had ulcers at 16 and just any kind of stress, but I never was stressed in my pregnancy. It was like my body was just finally healed, and it was like amazing. Even my partner was like, they kept asking him like, oh, you know, is she being difficult and all that stuff, and he told people, he's like, no, honestly, like she was a breeze during pregnancy. So because I wasn't hormonal and all that kind of stuff, I have a lot of the oils to thank for that, and a lot of the things that I was taking. Let me think. And then other things, so now, just like Aiden said, the Seedlings line, like I use nothing else and I love it. It's amazing. The wipes I already used for like years before I had a baby, for my face, for everything. They're just so handy. And then, so I find now when I use oils or when I diffuse in my house or whatever, I'm careful with what I use, but I also like the oils that are good for babies. I like to also just put them on myself. So when my baby's near me, he can kind of just smell it. So it doesn't even have to be on him. He can just kind of smell it. So I didn't read that anywhere or anything. That's just kind of what I do. And I also like to do, because he had kind of a stuffed nose at the beginning, so I looked up some of the things and they did actually recommend salt, and I put like Gentle Baby in there, or I put pine in there, and I dilute it kind of the same way as the ratio said that the lady said. So that's something that I did. And I made a roller like with pine, frankincense, lavender, all that kind of stuff. And again, I kind of put it on my chest, and he loves being in this wrap, so he kind of always smells it that way. And then I'm trying to think of what else I can share with you guys. I know there's so much, and there's so much I thought about before this class, but of course I'm just going to forget it all. But does anybody have any questions for me or anything like that? Because you're welcome to ask. I'm going to look through my book one more time if there's anything else I can share with you. I also actually made a whole class on this entire book. When I read it, I spent hours on a class. So if you guys want it, I can email it to you guys. So just let me know.
Hey, Franny, what did you do with the Epsom salts once you made them? Like just to have them near
So
you?
I just put them in the bath. So whenever he had a bath, I would like literally fill like a big tub with it, and then I would bathe him in that. So I only put a cup of Epsom salt in and diluted the oils like you were supposed to. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey,
That's
awesome.
Thank you so much,
Franny.
you guys, for sharing and giving us all your insight and wisdom.
No problem.
It's so nice to see babies on the call. I'm like,
I know,
"Oh,
he's like, you can barely see him, but
they're so sweet."
he like usually just leaves around this time. So I'm like, I'll just put him in the wrap.
Aw. Okay, so we have another mom who couldn't hop on the call, but she did send a recording for us to watch. Another awesome leader on our team. Her name is Carly. And so I'm going to screen share again and then show you guys her video. And hopefully it's not as messed up as when I shared the slideshow. So, can everybody see my screen okay? I'll make this full. Oh, wait, and I need to enable computer audio. Okay, everybody can see this? Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys so much for inviting me to share with you guys. I'm so excited to tell you my story and a little bit about oils and pregnancy and babies and all the things. So my name is Carly Marie Zachrick. I have 2 little boys, a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I started using Young Living when I was pregnant with my second child. Asher was so sore. I remember like getting out of bed at night to pee, which you have to do a lot when you're pregnant. And I actually fell over, and it happened to me more than once because you're kind of sleepy and get out of bed and your legs don't work because there's just no strength like in your bones to hold you up. It was really, really weird stuff. It's like I saw the doctor, there was no help for me. Like he just said, you just got to get through it. I couldn't get, like I remember it would take me hours because to walk was so painful. So I'd have to like go from the parking lot into the store. So I tried to get, like I'd always park in the mom with a baby spot so that I was closer, like at Walmart. And I tried to get a handicap sticker, like a temporary one, so I could actually go to the store because it just got so bad. I couldn't, completely unable to do things that are normal. So my friend, Melissa Earl, called me up and she's on this team and she said, hey, I want to teach an essential oils class. Can I do it at your house? Because she was coming back to our town. And I was like, of course. And so we had like, I don't know, there was like 12 girls there and it was really, really fun. And we all learned about essential oils and I had no idea about anything oily. I was not natural. I had never been natural. I had never understood any of that side of things. I wasn't against it or anything. I just really didn't understand why. I just thought like people were special or had like allergies or needs or something. I didn't get about toxins and chemicals and how they affect us all. And so I wasn't really looking to oils for that, but I was wondering what all the craze was about. And I was wondering if there was things that could help my pain while I was pregnant, because there's no help for me anywhere else. And so she came over and it was so much fun. Melissa and Rebecca were at my class and they just shared about the oils. And one of the first things that they said was there's this reference guide app that you can get and it tells you what oils to use for things. And I was like, what? And it's $10. And I was like, I'm investing in that. And so before I even knew what the oils smelled like or anything else, I opened that app in the middle of the class, and the whole class, I was just scrolling my app and I was just looking up all the things. And my first pregnancy had been great, but the delivery was super rough, like traumatizingly rough. And so for me, it had been a really big deal to have another baby. And that's a big reason why my kids were 3 years apart. Because my husband too, like to face having to deliver another baby was a scary thing. And so I was really looking for anything that could empower my labor and delivery as well. And so I just was in that app and I was just searching pain, focus, labor, birth, all the things, all the keywords I could think of. And there was so many options. I was just like blown away. So that night I got my starter kit. And then my husband and I budgeted out what I could afford. And we budgeted out for the next month. So I think I was 5 months pregnant. So I had like 4-5 months left to like get oils and like make my creams and make my things until I was going to go into labor. And so that's what I did. And I researched and I wrote in my notebook. I should have really found that notebook for this call. But anyways, it's packed somewhere because we have moved since to this beautiful place. And so I ordered very strategically over those next 5 months, and I have I still have oils 2 years later that I ordered from that. Not many, but a couple oils I haven't used up yet. Like, these suckers last forever. So it is a wonderful thing. And I got all these oils, and I made diaper rash creams. I diffused every single day. I used oils like on my other little guy who was 3, and it was just so empowering to be able to do something. And then I started using oils for skincare, being pregnant, and all my stretch marks on all the areas. And I started using, like, I made my own creams with like geranium essential oil is really great for skincare. Gentle baby essential oil, great for skincare. You can put them straight onto your stomach. Lavender essential oil, obviously great for skincare on your stomach. Frankincense was like my best friend. I put frankincense in a little spray bottle. I put like quite a few, like 20, 30 drops of frankincense in like a little 2-ounce spray bottle. And I filled it just with water. You could fill it with witch hazel or whatever, but I just filled it with water, and I would shake it up and spray it on my face and on my boobs and on my stomach to get frankincense on me. And it was so refreshing and so amazing that actually, so then my face was like glowing. Like, I'd never seen like such an immediate difference with my skin. And so my mom and my auntie both were like, what did you do? What are you using? I was like, it's my frankincense. So I made them both little sprays of frankincense. Actually, they both got their own kit like the next day because it was so amazing. I was not doing this as a business. I did not start this to do it as a business. And I didn't do it as a business for, I think it was over a year after I signed up. Anyways, but they were on my team. I didn't really even know what that meant right from like month 1 or 2 because they saw how amazing the stuff was. Anyways, so then I also got, and you have to do this if you're pregnant, it changes your life. I got Clariderm, which is like a spray from Young Living. It's already pre-made. It has all these insane oils in it that are very expensive to buy on their own. So Clariderm seems expensive when you go to buy it. I think it's like $80 or something. But to get all of those oils individually would be hundreds of dollars, and it's in a spray all ready to go. So definitely get it. It is amazing for your skin. Like, if your belly is itchy when it's like growing and really tight, especially at the end of your pregnancy, Clariderm like brings relief. And Clariderm is really great to prepare like your lady bits for birth. So you can use it. I'm going to tell you guys this because you guys need to know. So you can actually like spray your perineum and your vagina, the whole area, and you can massage the area so that your muscles are like softer and more supple. And then those essential oils actually help so much with stretching and to help you avoid tears. So with my first, this is weird because I'm pre-recording it and like telling my phone my story, but I'm gonna tell you guys, we're all women here, I hope. My first labor and delivery, I tore 3 places. I needed stitches in all of them. I was not numbed or anything, and there was cutting and episiotomy happening, and it was very painful, more painful than the birth, and it was just absolutely crazy. So I had so much healing to do, and my recovery was so long afterwards, like the full 6 weeks before I could be normal at all after having him. And so with my second, when I heard about this Clariderm, I was like, I will do anything to stretch better, have better skincare, be more prepared, and if I do tear, have something that will treat it after. So after my second, I did have one tiny, tiny, tiny little tear, which was like nothing compared to the first. My recovery was nothing compared to the first because I had all my oils. So I used Clariderm, and you can just like, after you go to the washroom, you have your squirt bottle to rinse with, so you don't have to like rough wipe or anything. So I would rinse with that, and then I would spray Clariderm. And it is so soothing, you guys. after you give birth, having Clariderm to spray on yourself is amazing. Okay, and I'm gonna give you another tip. If you didn't pull out your pen and paper yet, do it now. Freeze pads in the freezer. So I bought the most giant, puffy, like fat pads I could find, like long, super, super duper overnight pads. And I made aloe vera with lavender essential oil, and I mixed the aloe vera and lavender essential oil, and then I essentially used like a basting brush and painted the pad like with a good thick layer that would freeze, and like soaked it into the pad as much as I could quickly. And then I'd sprayed it with Clariderm spray, and then I would like wrap the pad back up in its little package and freeze it. And I had a whole stash of frozen pads ready to go. And so after I gave birth, I had those frozen pads, and it brought so much relief because it's like just a little layer of frozen, and then it melts right away on you, and it's like aloe vera, soothing, soft wonderfulness. And this is non-essential oil related, but especially if you're having your first baby, this is really weird, but it's amazing. Freeze big giant cabbage leaves. So buy a raw cabbage, peel off the giant leaves on the outside, and freeze them like a week, 2 weeks before your due date when you're expected to give birth. Then if your boobs get really huge and engorged and before the baby learns how to nurse, you can put the cabbage leaf in your bra, and it like soothes the entire area, and it's so amazing. Okay, back to essential oil tricks. Cream for tummy. Oh yes, so then after I had my baby and you start losing weight, and then you have like the little poochy baby tummy, and like your skin is wrinkly and crinkly or stretch marked or whatever your skin is. Mine had lots of things going on. So I started using this oil, Progessence Plus, Phytoprogessence Plus, after I had my babies, because it's just amazing hormone support. So I'll just like every single day I have a roller on it, so like a little bit on my wrists. And I was told to put it on my wrists, but I was like, heck, if it's for like hormones, I'm gonna put it right on my uterus. So I was like rubbing it down below, quite low, on my stomach. And I noticed, I don't know, it was like a couple months later, I was not using it for this purpose. But then I noticed getting out of the shower, and I actually looked at myself. I'm like, what the heck? My little poochy, wrinkly, weird skin is not there anymore. Like it is a little bit because I still have like some extra fat and skin, but like the wrinkly, crinkly, stretch marked part had healed itself, and it's right where I was putting this stuff. You guys, this is magical serum for skin. It actually says on it, pure essential oil blend with vitamin E. Massage into the skin. Apply daily to increase the youthful appearance of your skin. This is crazy good for your skin. So like if you have any stretch marks or wrinkly spots, like even after you're done nursing and your boobs like shrink back and you've got extra skin and stuff, this essential oil is the freaking bomb. So you have to use it. It's just amazing. Okay, the other thing is when I had sore hips and stuff, so there's a few oils that are kind of like controversial for pregnant women. Wintergreen, peppermint can be controversial, different things. Anyways, I needed the help from those oils, and I used them when I was pregnant as much as I needed them because I wasn't able to get up at night and pee. So I thought that probably bursting a bladder would be worse than using a little wintergreen essential oil. So I just used wisdom. I'm a praying person, so I prayed and I used wisdom, and I ended up using Deep Relief was my most favorite oil for my own use when I was so sore during pregnancy. In fact, it is still one of my most favorite oils because who doesn't have aches and pains from carrying your babies around and stuff? So I use it all the time. Plus, peppermint is like clarifying for your brain and energizing, and it helps you breathe and get more oxygen into your muscles. So those oils are so helpful. It smells so good. Okay, and then I wanted to talk about lavender a little bit. So my babies, I had trouble like napping them and sleeping them, which I think every mom has to go through that a little bit. And so I discovered a great thing to do was use lavender. You could actually use any oil. Like now, when I signed up, they didn't have it. They have Sleepy Eyes essential oil, which is a Kid Sense brand and so good. And that's actually our favorite bedtime oil for the kids is Sleepy Eyes. So amazing. I think you have to order it from the US market. Well worth it. It is amazing. So save up your points, order Sleepy Eyes. It's freaking awesome. We also use Tranquil, Gentle Baby, Lavender, Peace and Calming. Those are amazing. Tranquil is wonderful because it mixes lavender and cedarwood and German chamomile, which are 3 like amazing oils for sleep. Anyways, pick an oil. That's the point. Once you pick it, use it every single night. Diffuse it or put it a drop on your kids' feet, or I like putting it in their hair because I like them to smell delicious, like lavender. You could put a drop on their pillow, just get the smell in their room, and they associate it with like that calm, cozy bedtime routine. So before you read your book, like we do a little devotional thing and we watch like devotional on YouTube. And then we go to bed and I put the oil out on their pillow or in their diffuser. They have this cute little owl diffuser now that I use for them. That's a sound machine too, really great. And so we put that on, use the oil, and I put lavender on every owie. So I'm like, did you guys get any new owies today? What owies do you guys have? And I put lavender straight on any bruise or owie, anything, and they feel really cared for. And that smell is just everywhere, calming everybody down and just like peaceful and feeling like bedtime. And then we read our book. We all take a turn and do our prayers. And then I sing for them. And then I leave and I come back and check on them every 5 or 10 minutes till they're asleep. So 2 or 3 times. And just having this as part of their routine, because smell is so much linked to the memory and the limbic system, it really helps. Like when you pull that out, then they associate it with what's about to happen next. What else? Oh, I wanted to tell you one more story. I know this is taking longer than I expected, 15 minutes, but that's okay. This is important. So when I first had Asher, he was a newborn and he got a little cold. And so I was nursing him, like exclusively nursing him, and he could not nurse because he was so stuffy. So I was like worried, you know, when your baby can't nurse and they could starve. I mean, that's extreme, but he can't nurse and he had missed like his nursing session. I was like, well, maybe the next time. And I had the little snot sucker thing. I had lots to do, but when he stuffed, he stuffed. And so I was like, oh my gosh, essential oils. And I was still so new at it. So I grabbed eucalyptus. I had pure eucalyptus and I put it on my chest, like above where he would be nursing, but very strong there, right? And in your cleavage is a really great spot, like just above your cleavage to put oils when they're nursing, because then they're not going to get it on their face if they're nuzzlers or whatever. Anyways, and he took 3 little snuffly snorts trying to nurse, and his whole like system cleared up and he could nurse. That was like my first, like everything else was great. It was really amazing stuff. I loved my skin. I loved having something I could do. I loved the feeling of peppermint on sore muscles, all that stuff. But when that happened, I was like, thank you, God, for essential oils. Like, I don't know what. I do not know, you guys, what I would do without them. Like, I never leave the house without lavender and peppermint in my bag. Because if anybody has a tummy ache, if anybody has sore muscles, if anybody's stressed out, if anybody gets an owie, anything, I have what I need to deal with it. A bee sting, anything. Like, I can handle this. And there's no side effects. There's nothing wrong with these things. They're plants. Okay, last thing. These products are insanely amazing. Mighty Vites, the kids love these vitamins. They taste so yummy. I don't have Mighty Pro out here with me at the camper, but these are chewable, delicious things that I even like to have one now and then. So I give these to my 2-year-old and my 4-year-old, and it just feels good to be giving them vitamins that I know are plant-based and are sourced really ethically. Takes a lot of the research out of it for me. And this toothpaste is so yummy. So this is cool. My 5-year-old, I've always used this toothpaste or Aroma Bright on him. Aroma Bright comes in your Thieves Essential Rewards kit, or you can just order it. But anyways, I had it for my kit. And his teeth are so white. And when he got his 2 new adult teeth on the bottom, they're actually more yellow, those brand new teeth, than all his other teeth. And I was like, holy crap, this stuff really is great. And this is so yummy. It is not mint flavor, it's citrus flavor. Super, super yummy, tasty, sweet, delicious, cleans teeth and freshens breath. Who doesn't want that? So I order Kid Sense these things from the US market too. So when you get your sleepy eyes, look at the kid scent stuff and pick their things because they're amazing. Anyways, that's all. If you guys have questions or parts of my story that I left out that you guys want to know, feel free to ask me. Carly Marie Zacharick. Can't wait to talk to you guys. Be blessed.
That was awesome. So thank you, ladies, each one of you, for sharing tonight your stories and all your little nuggets of wisdom. We really appreciate that. And thank you for everyone for joining us. I hope that you got some good information from tonight. And remember that when you're not on this journey alone, we are a team, and there's always people you can ask questions to. And do some research, read, ask questions, and remember, this is your oily journey. You have to do what's best for you and for your littles, and the key is to enjoy your journey. We're all on our own journeys, and even though our paths are crossing, this is still each unique to each one of us. So yeah, just because somebody's doing it and it's right for them, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be right for you. So trust your gut, trust your instincts, and inform yourself. So I hope that you feel empowered to use those oils and to share them with others. That's part of this journey, is what we learn and what we experience, we share with others. So if anybody has any questions for these amazing mamas who shared tonight, feel free to unmute your mics and ask away. And Carly, thanks for jumping on. It's fun to see you here.
I was going to say, as soon as I stopped screen sharing, I was like, Carly's here.
I know, I just got in, so I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
Thanks for being so raw and honest in your video.
Yeah, I loved listening to it. It was awesome.
Good. I was like, how much do I share? Do I actually say the V word? But I did.
Always say the V word.
Does anybody have any questions? If not, I'll stop the recording and we can just chit chat a little bit.
Yeah, give it a stop.